This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What I'm going to talk about today is the correlation between the quality of your relationship and the motivation to stay healthy. Because what has been very interesting to me, like in terms of what YouTube recommends me of videos to watch, one video that has been popping up again and again and again is by a general in the US Army that has worked in the military for 38 years, and he had his talk. The title is "Obesity is a National Security Issue." It kind of tells you how critical the state of affairs are in terms of boys not becoming men anymore. They simply have become a video gaming, eating junk food generation with a massive lack of motivation. So let's connect that together with the 2016 mental health report. It also quoted the absence of quality relationships is killing us faster than obesity and lack of exercise. I'll repeat that one. The absence of quality relationships is killing us faster than obesity and lack of exercise. So you've got on the one hand obesity in America being a national security issue, and then on the other hand, the 2016 mental health report states that the absence of quality relationships is even more critical. So how does this correlate, and what can we do about it? The correlation basically comes from motivation. If you don't have motivation, then you're not going to get things done. Very often, lack of motivation comes from the fact that you're stuck. You know, anytime that you've been depressed or have had a lot of issues in life and you just are not motivated at all, has come from times when you felt stuck. Like you can't change something. You're completely immobilized and you feel like you cannot do anything about your situation. And this obviously comes from a lack of information, right? You don't know the right, correct answer or the next step to get you out of it. It also comes from the fact that you simply don't have quality relationships in your life. Or you don't believe that you will have a quality relationship in your future. So let's look at it this way. What is a quality relationship? My definition of a quality relationship means that you have a relationship where you feel loved, where you feel accepted, where you can feel that you can be yourself, and that the relationship is growing and going somewhere. It's leading somewhere very nice. That is a quality relationship. Very often, it would be nice if these quality relationships were formed in the family as you were growing up. Unfortunately, though, most families are dysfunctional, and I realize that. I think we all do. And, well, sometimes we don't even think about it. Sometimes we don't realize it growing up. We believe that our family is the only dysfunctional family on planet Earth, but it's not. All families are dysfunctional, and I yet haven't found one that is not. And that has something to do with the structure, and that is something I'm going to explain over time. But how could you build quality relationships in your future or in your present if your past is filled with the lack of quality relationships? A woman that has been growing up with quality relationships with her father, with her mother, with her siblings, and with her friends has a much higher chance and potential of creating quality relationships in her present and in her future. And the reason why is because these kinds of relationships is the only thing that she knows. And these quality relationships will be blessed by the fact that that person is easygoing, flexible, tolerant, kind, and all of that has come from her past quality relationships. So that's a positive going forward. But what about those that have been raised in bad quality relationships where things have sucked? Very often that is what's happened. And And it causes lack of motivation to stay on track when it comes to nutrition and daily exercise. To be honest with you, there's two simple things. It's nutrition and exercise. But the fact is, women these days have a lack of capacity. Let me explain how this works. Let's say a single mother, she's working a full-time job or maybe two jobs to make ends meet. She has her child in school. The kid basically, he gets a few dollars each day to go to McDonald's next to his school, whatever it is, and he eats there maybe every single day. He comes home. Do you think he's going to come home to a nutritious meal? Probably not. The mother is going to be absolutely exhausted, and she's going to buy a pizza, she's going to buy processed foods, fries, whatever, burger, and she's going to put it in the oven, and then it's going to be done, and the child is going to eat it. Now, obviously, this will make him obese. The fact is, if the child doesn't see his mother exercise, and he never sees other people exercise around him, and he ends up spending time with guys who don't exercise, then he's going to become obese and overweight. This is just how it works. And this is what's happening more and more. And the cause of it is not lack of nutrition and lack of exercise. The root cause is women having sex outside of marriage and outside of family bonds, which causes a lack of capacity and masculinity in women. The masculine women get feminine boys, or masculine girls. Basically means that feminine boys are emotionally unstable, and the way to make up for that is for them to eat bad nutrition and then to not feel like they want to exercise. While the masculine girls, they might massively exercise, or they might feel so down on themselves that, because a woman or girl that has no capacity will not desire to exercise. She won't feel like exercising. And the fact of the matter, she's also burdened by her reproductive cycle, which causes her to have PMS in her period basically half of the month or 1/3 of the month, which causes her to not want to exercise during that time, and the habit disappears, and then suddenly you get those irregularities. This can all be brought back to the point of men not being motivated to do anything anymore because there's no reward at the end of the rainbow. Like, why should guys massively exercise and massively work to better themselves and to improve themselves and to establish their business and their financials if there's no damsel in distress at the end for them to rescue? Like, if women are independent and don't need men anymore, then men don't care. And then they can simply go out and do whatever they want, play video games, not care, just simply be feminine, and that's it. That's just how it is. Quality of relationships come from women being feminine and attracting high value mates that are trustworthy and that will stick with them for the long run. You don't want a high value mate or masculine man who has casual sex with you and then he moves on to the next girl. You don't want that. And the more masculine you are, the more likely you are to attract a man who is only interested in a casual hookup and then move on to the next one. But if you're massively high value, feminine, fit, and motivated to establish a home and to do it successfully, then your man will be massively rewarded for his efforts in providing for you. An important aspect of quality relationships when it comes to the male and female dynamic is the sexual relationship. Is it a fantastic relationship? Or is it a fantastic sexual relationship? Or is it mediocre? Because the fact is, a great sexual relationship is an emotional need for men. But it's also an emotional need for women. And this is one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, why couples depart from one another. Going back to obesity being a national security issue, I would agree. Men not being motivated is a national security issue. Because if they're not motivated to take action and to improve their lives, because simply women are only interested in casual relationships because they're so focused on their careers and achieving monetary goals, it's completely ridiculous. Because at the end of the tunnel, women want a long-term relationship. Women want to establish a family most of the time. And they want a long-term partner. Guess what? Guys do too. And yet, because men and women don't understand how to establish a quality relationship, they end up both missing the mark, and men end up kind of bitter and not fired up about providing for women because women cheat, and then the guys cheat because there's just a lot of things going on in these relationships, but that is the core matter. Okay, the core matter for obesity being a national security issue is the absence of quality relationships. Absence of quality relationships when it comes to your childhood, your teenage years, and basically your 20s, 30s, and beyond. The way to have a fantastic, an amazing, joyful life filled with happiness and keeping misery to a minimum is to have quality relationships. And if you have that, most of the time you're going to be able to find solutions to any other problem that you might have. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.